All right. We're officially here. So, you know what I'm saying? Just want to, of course, get this shit started the right way. You know, we are episode 64. This is for the love. This is your boy Los. Just want to thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And before we do get started, because as you can see, we are in different, spaces than the regular brown couch y'all normally used to seeing. But I just want to thank all my supporters out there, of course, you know what I'm saying, all my DSP listeners and all my YouTube subscribers. If you have not already, as always, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's for the LUV. And of course, we got more heat. But like I said, episode 64, different, auras. And we still in the town, because I'm with my good brother to my left. And this is where the magic happens, man. But like I said, for the people, man, I just want to, thank you for pulling up or allowing me to pull up first off.
Yes, sir.
And, so we can get started, just introduce yourself, man.
Absolutely. Go by the name Too High, music producer, beat maker, whatever you want to call it, curator, from Hampton, Virginia. And we're here live at my little studio where I call Comics Lookout. So shout out to all my DBZ fans out there.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, man, for allowing me your platform, man. And this is just me tinkering away, listening to vinyls and trying to make something happen. So if you call that magic, then hey, that's what's up.
Listen, bro, before, off air, of course, this nigga was playing straight heat. So, and to start, because, I want to shout out Jimmy Age, by the way.
Jimmy.
You know what I'm saying? It's very funny how things happen and how the universe works, because we both being from the town. I'm from Norfolk. My brother's from, Newport News, Hampton. It's ironic how we met through a motherfucker up north. You know what I'm saying? And on the last episode or the one before that, I spoke about the Dilla event. And that's why I was able to meet this good brother and finally see the talent. Like, I heard of him prior, but to see it in person was a, surreal moment. And to finally click up, because we were supposed to do this shit probably a couple months ago, to be honest, but time happens when it happens. But, starting with the Dilla event, because that's where we linked up, just talk to, how was that, bro, just to perform for Dilla's moms, you know what I mean? Shout out to Producer Plug, shout out to Bing, you know what I'm saying? Just how was that, bro? Because that's the matriarch of this whole producer, the GOAT.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Man, look, someone who grew up, I'm a big Tribe Called Quest fan. Shout out to Tribe. We got into our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
So hyped about that.
All overdue.
Absolutely. But, being a fan of theirs and then discovering Dilla through them, and then being a fan of Dilla, where I bumped Dilla almost it felt like any moment I'll just bump a Dilla joint, just because I'm just inspired by the dude, man, for years. And then to, create, do all the stuff you do, and then to get invited to an event like that, man, that's huge. And then to meet Ma Dukes, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy.
To get a chance to converse with her too,
right.
She's telling you I really like that song you did. That made my whole night, bro. Son, that whole thing, man. Just to represent Dilla.
Yeah, and that was kind of my question right there. You was answering it as far as I'm sure that motivated you to even go ham with this shit, because it's
yeah,
you know what I mean? Just to, somebody in that stature, just to see that. And of course, and like I said, you also had Bink, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bink, 7'5", who was able to see the art and, not to it from an organic standpoint. So I'm sure that was just dope, man. But again, that's why I met the brother. It was long overdue, because we no more than 30, 35 minutes away from each other. So it wasn't and I'm sure we probably crossed paths early in this shit, but because it's a small world, but it was just dope, man. But getting into it, bro, because for people who don't know, man, this, For the Love is about, showcasing the talent that we have in here. A lot of people heard me say about the 7'5" being an influence in this culture, and outside of the Pharrells and the Tims and the Missies and the skills, etc. We have the local talent that's just so fucking fire that I feel like they should get their flowers and notified as well. and you being that person, one of them, in my humble opinion. Just start. I want to start with like just, you know, where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just how music, you know, got you to this point. You know what I mean? So. You from Newport News or is it from Hampton?
No, I'm from Hampton.
It is Hampton,
yeah,
okay.
It's Hampton,
right.
but I mean, I rep the news too. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
You know,
for sure.
it's like our big brother, those, you know, that type of situation. But yeah, I'm from Hampton. That's where I was born at. My family's from if you from Hampton, everybody knows. So like my family's from Shell Road and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just growing up with had a young mom. My father is actually my stepfather, but I call him my dad because, like, I mean, since 2 years old. You know what I mean? So, you know, they got together. I think they had the biggest influence, even more so than like any other music group, because I was fortunate to have two young parents. So, you know, it's the 90s, they're in their 20s. And all the music that was coming out during the 90s that we talk about, like, I was in there.
Like Wu-Tang, Nas.
I was there, you know what I mean? Like, growing up.
Okay.
And, like, my dad would have, like, small house parties, and his boys would come through. You know how, like, you tell you, like, yo, pull up, you know? You
right.
So they bumping, like, Raekwon and, you know, Wu-Tang and Nas or Biggie, whoever was hot at the moment. So I was right, and I'm right there, like, the little guy. They're like, yo, come here, little man.
Right.
Same thing. It's like, you know, what's
crazy.
today's mathematics? You know, stuff like that, you know? So
you getting the language,
right. So, you know, growing up with that, and then on top of that, like, my mom, she's more so, she listens to hip hop too, but like she was more so like R&B. So this is around the time when like Mariah Carey was coming out, Mary J. Blige was coming out, Aaliyah first dropped, Brandy dropped, TLC dropped. So I'm listening to all this stuff, Toni Braxton, and she used to rock me to sleep to this stuff too.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
And that stuff kind of like to this day stuck with me.
That's
like,
a crazy rock.
right, exactly.
And then lullabies is total, like.
And she'll tell you too, like, every time you go to sleep, I used to grab my mom, like, come on, you gotta rock me to sleep. Right. Word. And I used to pick out what album I wanted, like, we're doing Mary J today, you know, whatever. So I used to rock to sleep to that stuff, man. And all that stuff, man, that hip hop, all that stuck with me. I never thought I was gonna be like a music producer. I was big on sports a lot, so I always thought I was gonna be like a basketball or football or even baseball.
Yeah, that's everybody, man. Like, you everybody wanted to do sports. Yeah. You know, sports, drugs, entertainment. One of those two, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, I don't know for you, but like, you know, we had Allen Iverson. So it's like, even before we even realized he was from the town, it's like you saw a motherfucker like that. Yeah. He was like a superhero, man. But that's ill as shit, because like, just imagine like growing up and it's like 90s hip hop and R&B, and that's the shit that's just soundtrack to life. But with that, was that because, you know, you're a producer now, so was that something like you said, oh, I'm gonna be a producer, or like what point did you get to say I want to be a producer, or did it just come to you? Like, did you want to like rap, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a long build, because I didn't really start like taking it serious till I was like 20. So you're talking about like a kid who, like I said, was listening to a lot of stuff my parents were listening to, including stuff they grew up on too as well. So not even just that, like even cartoons. Like I'd be watching like old cartoons with my parents and stuff, and that stuff had like a, you know, influence on me as well. So I kind of grew up with like a 70s and 80s mind state, but like I was still like in the present, you know what I mean? So I was still listening to stuff that we all grew up on, like, you know, 2000s was like when Jeezy was coming out, Gucci and Kanye, you know. I was still like on that stuff too, so I didn't like, you know, go too far away. But even I remember my dad became like a born again Christian. That I was big on gospel music. You know, I was playing I was playing Yolanda Adams earlier. So that was big on me too. Jill Scott was big. I'm real big on neo soul too as well. So that culture. But it wasn't until I discovered Tribe one day, and it was on my dad's CD. He had the CD. I still have it somewhere in the house. It's called we need to put a plaque on that thing. But it's called a Slamming Rap Hits of the, you know, throwback joint. And it had like stuff from like 80s and 90s, and it had like all the greatest hits. And the first track up there was Can I Kick It by Tribe Called Quest. So I heard that joint.
Classic.
I heard that joint, and I was like, yo, what is this? You know, I'm like I think I'm like 11 at the time, so it was like 2000, 2001 or something. I'm like, yo, this is dope. I'm like, what is this? I never heard this before. So I'm like asking my dad, like, yo, what is this? And now my dad, he's kind of big on like, you know, gangster rap.
Yeah, like, so, yeah, right.
Not that he didn't know who Tribe was and stuff,
right.
but he was just like, you know, he told me, yeah, that's a Tribe Called Quest. He's like, you know, Q-Tip and all them.
Yeah.
And he said Q-Tip because, you know, Vibrant Thing was hot at the time. So he was like, yeah, Q-Tip, that's his group.
Right.
I never heard of them before, you know? And so I got into them and I started like really just going through discography, studying them and stuff. And then I ended up discovering Dilla. That got really big on Dilla. And then like right when I'm in the height of like my Dilla stand-up, you know, he passes away.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, man, you know. And then at that time, I actually just wanted to rap. I just really wanted to rap because I just thought like the way Q-Tip and Phife rap was just dope. So I was like, I want to rap like these guys, but like still keep it commercial, like how Kanye at the time was dropping too. So it was just trying to like, you know, but like I said, sports was big. So when I was in high school, shout out to Bethel High School, same with Don Iverson. When I was there trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I didn't know until late, but it was track. I got really good at track. And it got to a point where I got like a full scholarship to go to any college I wanted to.
Wow.
That was a blessing. And I took that to George Mason University.
Shout out to George Mason.
Shout out to GMU, all my GMU heads. Yeah, so I went there with the focus of like, I want to make it to the Olympics. So I had once again, nothing with music yet.
But you was trying to go all the way with it though.
Yeah,
you was trying to go to the Olympic level with it.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah, but even with that, I was still into the music, and everybody who knew me, whether it was in high school, I used to get like picked on for that stuff. Like,
did you ever do the band, any of that type of shit? Like, because you know most music heads are like, you know.
Nah, I wasn't that guy.
Oh,
I know, yeah, I wasn't that guy. And stay away from the band, like band geeks. No, I wasn't.
You know, like when Drumline came out, everybody in the motherfucking world wanted to be drums. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Me, bro. I was like, nah, bro, do the sports thing.
I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to do that shit, but my mom was like, I don't got money for that shit. You don't play the trumpet.
I was a jock. I had time to be no band geek. You know, I'm joking.
Nah, but that's good though. But so like growing up, of course, you know, 90s hip hop and R&B. Like, was there like a particular album or like anything or artist that was like the soundtrack to your life, like something that you know? Because again, it was a lot of artists.
It's a lot of artists.
But was it like that one particular person? Because for me growing up, it was 50. Like when 50, when I found out about 50 back in like 2001, around that point, it was nothing but 50 up until like damn near Jeezy and Wayne.
Right.
But so like, was there any one of those that had you stuck, or was it just like a variety? Like,
it was a combination. Obviously, the biggest one was Tribe, because Midnight Marauders. That's my favorite album of all time. Because when I heard that album,
that was my next question. Okay,
that was my favorite album because I remember when I heard that, I felt like I found myself. If that makes sense, because it was a lot of times where you got records and you're like, you know, you understood it, but you couldn't relate to it,
right?
Stuff like that. But that was an album I was like, if someone asked me like describe Too High, it was like I'll give them that album. Like this is the perfect way I can describe myself.
And it's more so the feeling too, because like you just said, it's like sometimes you don't even know what you feeling.
Yeah. But
it's just that shit feels crazy. Like that. Like I just like wish sometimes we can go back to the first time we heard some shit, because it's just like an out of body experience. Crazy. Like when I first heard "Can't Tell Me Nothing" by Ye, it was like,
fam. I remember where I was, bro.
Fucking head just blew the fuck up when I heard that shit. So that being said, bro, because you know the upbringing, that's definitely a good start. But so at what point do you get to producing? Because you said you know at this point you a jock, you all about your track and field. You know, I'm pretty sure you did graduate high school, right? Because you went to GMU, of course. Shout out to that. But you know, you're a sports guy.
I ain't no dummy.
Right, for sure. But we went through school. You know what I'm saying? Upbringing. You started to rap. So as far as that transition, how quick was it for you to say, "Fuck this rap shit, I'm gonna try beats"? And what make you do beats?
It took a minute because So I used to rap. I was trying to rap in high school. I used to write. My mom was making fun of me last year. They went through the attic and they had all my old notebooks. And she had called me and I was like, "Hello," and she started rapping my lines.
Damn, your mom's is wild.
She's like, "Come through with the poetic style." I said, "What the heck?" And I was like, "Hey, yo, those are my rhymes." I was like, "Yo." She was like, "Yeah, we got your little book of rhymes." I was like, "Dang!" I said, "Burn them." I was like, "Burn those immediately."
Oh man.
Yeah, but once I did track, I kind of took away from the rapping thing. But then when I went to college, man, the GMU, shout out to George Mason. Like when I went, we had so many talented musicians on campus at the time, man, and like it made me want to go right back to writing. I'm trying to still do the track thing or whatever, and I appreciate them so much because they allowed me into their spaces and like I was able to have conversations with them. They respected like my music opinion. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't just some like. Oh yeah, I like this album. That was pretty much it for me. Like I actually had conversation with them.
That's dope.
And I met some of my like best friends from there. Shout out to Omar the Groove, New Type Josh. They're part of a group called Wombo Combo. I met them in school. Those are like my my best friends.
Shout out to Wombo Combo.
And I met them. I met Omar first actually, and we were cool at first. It was like a respect thing. We lived on the same floor. And then I met one of my homeboys. His name is Tim, aka Trademark, one of the illest lyricists you'll ever hear. He's from Maryland. And me and him connected, and he used to sound like Nas to me. And I was like, this dude is dope. You know what I'm saying? Nas is my favorite rapper. Okay. So we used to like trade bars and stuff like that. And then we found a guy who was able to record us and stuff like that. So I remember we recorded a track together. If I ever find that song, I'll delete it. That was horrible on that joint.
That is crazy.
It was amazing.
But at the time, you thought that shit was ill.
No, that joint was fire, dog. You know what I'm saying? I did something there. I was like, we're going to make it out the hood. Yo, hell no. But I remember I played a joint on my first floor. The floor that I was on is none but guys on the floor. It's like wrestling and track and like a couple of people.
All the sports guys.
Yeah, we had no chicks, man. I was mad about that. But anyway, so I had a big speaker in my room, so I always played music loud. So I had played the thing we recorded. So my friend Omar heard it. He said, "Yo, you rap?" I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Yeah, I rap too." So he played his stuff. So that's how we connected.
Right.
So then we started like doing stuff together, and then that's when I first started like learning how to edit music, like go on there and stuff like that. I had like all the little like this old DAW. I think it was called like Magic Music Maker, something like that. So I was using that to kind of like just learn how to like record stuff like that. But I wasn't making beats yet.
And they was already like mixed, like dibbling, dabbling, and that type of shit. Like the guys use. Okay, so they kind of laid the foundation.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So then what happened was, so this is how I started making beats. It had nothing to do with like a aha moment or anything. We got screwed over. That's how I really got into it. So this was like 2010? Yeah, 2010, 2011, something like that. Omar's finishing up this album, which was, a dope album. I did some stuff up there as far as like engineering and all that stuff. No beats or anything, but just engineering. Hell, I was doing stuff like he'll get a beat for free. He'd be like, "Yo, can you loop it?" I was like, "Yup, I will loop it and stuff." Right. So it's funny, like I go by my name of Loop God, but going back, like I was literally looping the heck out of it. So we had to worry about pain and stuff like that. It was terrible. It was being cheap.
Oh man.
So we're doing that, and then we met the guy who was recording us. He was making beats too, and we thought this dude was just like fire, like all the beats on point. So then one day he gave us this one beat, and Omar recorded. And when he recorded this one guy, he goes by the name of Neek Khan. That's another guy y'all need to follow. He's from Bangladesh, fire rapper.
Crazy.
He contacted us and was like, "Yo, that's not your record. That's my man's record or whatever." And then he was like, "Well, we got this from Old Boy because he thought he produced it." He said, "Nah, he didn't produce that." And then kind of find out that guy also produced that dude's whole entire record. So he just found out too, this dude just be taking beats and stuff like that. So he was a fraud. So we confronted the dude like, "Yo, fam, you been getting us like all these beats you've been getting online saying it's yours." And then he was like, "Oh, my fault. Wow. So and my homeboy was disappointed. He's like, "Man, I worked on this whole album." So then I told him, I was like, "Man, look, I'm gonna learn how to produce. No one ever screw over my team ever again." So that's when that really got
pretty
started.
Pretty much like an in-house type of, okay. So
yeah, that's when it got started.
That's crazy. So you pretty much into this lane looking out for the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the screws, and you got a lot of copy and pasters out there. But
Absolutely.
do you what I was gonna say? Do you remember the beats you start doing? Were they just regular beats, or what was the aim?
It was straight boom. That thing was straight. Every single one. I had no type of I was like, bro, the same BPM. I was like,
oh man,
I was so heavy on Dilla, bro. It was crazy, man.
Hey, man,
if you ever heard some of my first beats, man.
So when you started, what year was this, by the way?
So this was 2012. So when I got done with school. So when I was done with school, that's when I focused on music. I moved back home.
Mm-hmm.
The track thing, I thought I was done with track, but even when I came back home, people were saying yo, you can still go pro, you can still do track at home. So I ended up doing that too on the side, training to still go to the Olympics, because you can still do that stuff or whatever. So, but yeah, I had just bought my first machine, which I go with, native instrument machine, and I was. My first beats were just boom boom cat for a minute, but
okay.
And then I remember showing people, I was so excited because I just made a beat, and they're like, bro, everything is so high, you gotta turn your levels. And dude, I'm just learning, so I'm like, oh yeah, duh, why these hi-hats way up here.
Now that's funny you say that, because it's a perfect segue, but is that where you got the Too High name, or now has that always been the name?
Yeah, so that came later. So during that time that I'm talking about,
and this is when you first started making beats.
First started making beats. Even when I was rapping, my name was Jay Gatsby.
Okay.
It was because my name is Javel, and in college we studied The Great Gatsby.
Right.
And I had read the book already, but I didn't care. It was one of them it's just an old school book, whatever.
For a grade, yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. But we reread it again in college, and he broke it down. And I said, yo, this joint is dope.
Wow.
This man, and I was on some
I can relate.
Dr. Umar crap. I was like, Jay Gatsby is actually the black man. It was some crazy stuff. I even put the Z instead of S in Gatsby, and then sometimes when I rap, I'm it's your boy Jay Gatsby.
Yeah.
It was stupid, dog. It was so stupid, man.
Jay Gaps is crazy.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So I was going by that even when I was even when I was making the beats, I was going by Jay Gatsby. Because I was still rapping too. I was still trying to rap and stuff like that.
Was that your rap name too?
Yeah, everything was
yeah. Okay.
And then I changed it in 2015 when I finally was bro, I don't even want to go by this name no more. I need to find something else. And the way I came up with the name was incredible because shout out to EOM, Elements of Music. He's a producer from Northern Virginia. He's one of my favorite producers when I was learning. And rest in peace to him too, man. I used to he actually produced for one of my friends. That's how I got the chance to meet him. And I told him, yo, I'm learning how to make beats and stuff. I'm trying to be like you. And he just told me yo, man, just keep doing your thing or whatever. And one of the beats, I used to rap off his beats a lot. And I rapped off his one beat, and it was called Too High. TOOHIGH. And the thing was, I didn't go by my name off of that song. I went off of it because of I was trying to find something unique. So high actually means black in Chinese, so it's actually saying too black. That's why I said too high. And then also I know the camera can't see it, but you see my my figurine over there is a Hiei from Yu Hakusho. That is my favorite anime character of all time. So it was also trying to put the name similar to Hiei a little bit.
Wow.
And then when
shout out to my anime guy.
Right. And then when I finally saw it and I thought about the EOM song, I'm like, yo, Too High. We're going with that. So I just started rolling with that, man. So that came later though, later. I was still doing the whole Jay Gatz thing, so that came later.
That's crazy because right before, in the beginning, how they saying everything's too high.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that could be a play towards where you got that from.
Right.
But then when you just broke it down, that's hard because I to this moment I ain't even realize you saying I'm too black. That shit is fire. That's hard, man. And then you because I was going to ask about the spelling of it, so you definitely broke that down too, because, a lot of motherfuckers could be like, oh, he's going off the weed shit, he's too high, or
all the time.
You know what I'm saying?
You smoke weed? And I'll be like, no. They be like, your beats sound like you do though. I'm like, oh, okay.
Word, that's
I get
what's
that a
up,
lot,
man.
bro.
So like at this point, man, like we too high. You know, we came from J Gaps or J Gapsy. You know what I'm saying? We went from that to Too High. You start. You know, you pretty much became like an in-house producer for the team. To kind of fast forward it, like at what point did it immediately start to like, did y'all just kick in gear, or like what was the moment where like shit got real pretty much? Like
it was when me and my homie Omar, so then when I finally started like producing under Too High, he released like his stuff and I had some of my beats up there for once. They're a little, when I listen to it now, but it was a start, you know what I'm saying? And even a lot of my friends, like my roommate from my freshman year, he's the guy, shout out to Rashawn, he's my roommate. He's the only person I can honestly say has heard every single thing I've done since the very beginning. So he knows everything I've done. He understands.
Yeah.
But even he was saying like the spirit was there and stuff like that. So it was just a matter of me just, you know, focusing in on this stuff. And like I said, track was still part of my life. So that was kind of like, I don't want to say in the way, but I was still trying to balance the two. It was like 2014 though, I had broke my leg. And so I had to go in the hospital. And during that time frame, I had nothing but time. So I had all my stuff with me on some like J Dilla Donut stuff. And I was just like really making beats and like really like working on the craft and like getting a better understanding of what I was trying to do. Right. And then when I finally got out of there and then trying to go back into track, I noticed that the beats were starting to get better and better. Also too, a lot of people was trying to make me do other types of beats. They'd be like, hey, I like that beat, but can you do like DJ Mustard? And I'm like, no, you know, and I love DJ Mustard. Not saying I, you know, don't like him, but I'm trying to find my own sound.
Okay, so are you? And I didn't mean to cut you off, but are you saying it like they was trying to make you do those type of style beats?
Yeah,
like I had do a Mustard beat, do a like Metro, etc.
I had a chick want me to do a twerk song, and I actually made that joint. That joint whack, bro.
Hey, if they shaking ass, then you succeeded, bro.
I was inspired by Soulja Boy with that joint, man. I don't know what I was thinking. That joint was crazy.
Hey, as long as they shaking ass, you succeeded, my brother. Hey, so I feel you though, and that's not even your lane. So that shit, I look at that as a dub because if they,
I can make it. Like, I can do it,
but
I didn't want to. I don't want to be known as like, yo.
Okay. Now, what was the Is there like a moment that like kind of, or is that moment the moment where you, like you say, you broke your leg? And because to me that just sounds like that was just when you was finally able to put all the time into one thing rather than balancing it. Because like the leg injury forced you to sideline track and put energy on the beat. So like if that wasn't the moment, was there any other moment that made you feel like, oh yeah, this is for real, like this is what I'm about to do? Yeah,
so once I recovered from the leg injury, my other homeboy, shout out to Les, we went to he was rapping too at the time. I was still trying to rap. This is when I was starting to give up rapping. So I'll let y'all know this was when Jay Gas was finally about to retire. I'm letting y'all know, like Jay Gas was finally about to retire, guys, so don't worry about it. So this was right towards the end when I was finally about to put it up. We was at the studio because I had made this beat and we were supposed to do a song over it. So we were at the studio. Shout out to Upper Room, High Life. He was there, and we was recording a song. This other producer comes in during our session. Shout out to Ice Cold Beats, and he was playing his beats. His joints was fire. I was like, yo, these joints are fire, you know what I'm saying, like that. And at this time, I don't really play my beats for a lot of people I don't know. It was just more like friends and like a couple of people might hear, you know, stuff like that. So then High Life was like, yeah, my man right there, he make beats. And I'm over here like this, like,
wow.
Nah, like I don't want to play my joints in front of this guy.
On the spot like that.
Right. So the dude's like, yeah, play your beats, bro. So I played my beats. It was kind of quiet. Something like, yeah, he probably think these joints whack. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, yo, these joints are fire, man. We got this beat battle every Thursdays in Newport News. You should come out. And then I was like, word. And so I ended up going to the first one. And one thing about me, everybody, I like going places solo dolo. I don't know why I do that, but that's how it be. So I went here dolo. Nothing wrong with that. So I went dolo to this event, and this was the first time I actually used Too High. So I gotta find a picture. It's probably gonna come up like my Facebook memories or something, but it's a picture where Too High is on the thing. But yeah, I did the beat battle, and when I did my first round, I lost. But when I did it though, like a bunch of people was like, "Yo, like that joint was fire," and I met some dope people that day. S-Class Lab Rats, Crafty, C7.
Shout out to Class, man.
Class, man.
That's my guy.
Cousin Pete, Nico. I met all them guys that day. Lolo Beats. And that was the first time a bunch of people that I don't really know came up to me and was like, "Yo, this is fire. Like, keep it up." And so I just kept doing the beat battles over and over again, and they helped me get better and better and better and better. I was just learning things, even when I lost, just learning and learning. Right. And eventually, it got to a point where I was like, man, I'm gonna start putting out beat tapes. So then I started doing beat tapes, whole bunch of stuff. Those started going well, and then my fourth beat tape, I decided to put it on streaming services, and that's when it really went. That's when like.
And what year was this, by the way?
This is 2018.
Okay.
So 2018. This is when like a bunch of people, like I'm talking about just outside of Virginia.
Right.
Even my Mason folks, because Mason folks, I didn't think they knew I was making beats. Everybody knew I was into music, but I didn't know they was like
they know you from campus, but they wasn't paying attention.
So this was their first time hearing this stuff, and they were all like, "Yo, this is dope." So then again, that kudos. So all that stuff, man. And then that's when I started thinking with track. I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do the track thing anymore. Because like the music started like going, and then like more people were hitting me up. I was doing like a couple shows at times and stuff like that. So then I was in a relationship, a back-to-back relationship, by the way. That was a little slow too. It was some points I didn't make no beats because I was so focused on the relationship. And I'm thinking like, bro, I can't be doing this, bro. I got to balance, man, sometimes.
For sure.
But the big day for me, though, when you talk about the big day, was 2019 December in LA. That was the day I made that decision because I flew out to LA for Rolling Loud Festival, and I was with my homeboys, and these jokers smoked the most craziest of weeds of all time. Like, bro, all they did, bro, I was like, dog, it was crazy, dog. But no, shout out to them though.
For sure.
And yeah, that Rolling Loud was crazy. That was like my first and last time seeing Pop Smoke perform live. So
wow, that's great. And that was like right
like a
before
month
the
or two,
pandemic too.
Month or two before he died too. Yep,
that's crazy. And
but
did you perform there or?
Nah, so we was there, and then we had got an Airbnb, me and my guys.
Okay.
And we had like sometimes we had people come over and stuff like that.
Right.
And we was chilling like on some like Bluetooth speaker playing music, and then my homeboy's like, "Yo, play my man's music," and I was like, "What? Nah, don't play my music." So
you just around motherfuckers that just putting you on the spot, like, my man's right here.
Yo, this dude right there make beats. Yo, this dude make beats. And I'm over here like, dog, these joints just go boom, boom, clap though. Like, it's not where I want to be at yet. Like, what you trying to do, man?
That's crazy.
But they play the joints, and then people were like, yo, this is dope. Like, this is fire. And I'm like, oh, for real, y'all like it? Y'all not lying? And it was like, you're feeling it. And then another time was when I was at Rolling Loud, I had these cards, and the cards had like my one of my beat tapes album cover on it, and it had my number and stuff like that. And I would just hand it out to people like, yo, just listen if you want, you don't got to, you can throw the card away if you want, whatever. And then this dude hit me up on the phone. He was like, yo, I don't know who you are, bro, but this is fire, and you can win a Grammy with this. I can see Kendrick on this. I was a white guy.
Wow,
yo, dude, like seriously.
Crazy.
So I was like,
fat motherfucker called you, was like,
yeah, I don't know what this dude is.
That shit is crazy.
I know, see him later in the Rolling Loud. He was like, nah, dude, it's awesome music, man, whatever. Damn. So when I went back home, I'm still doing track. So I called my coach. I said, yeah, I might have to just hang it up with track, man. And then I was like, I'm gonna take the music stuff serious, man. So
wow.
So January 2nd, 2020 is when I decided I'm gonna take the music stuff serious.
That's interesting, man, because that was like in like a couple months later the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
So it's like right. Motherfucker just got that realization, and then we hit a world pause.
Yeah.
So with that being said, was that just at that point just making beats? Like, how was that? Like,
during the pandemic?
Yeah, because like again, you hit that moment of truth where it's like, this is what I'm about to do, and I'm pretty sure you're thinking like it's gonna be opportunities where I'm gonna step out. Now you kind of in the crib.
Yo. I was pissed.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, again, we still got social media and all that shit.
Right,
so
right.
it ain't the end of the world, but it's just like, you kind of got to alter the plans now, because it's like, now you got to really, like, how was that, like, social presence?
Man.
Like, in maintaining what you just established type shit, you know what I'm saying? Because you just coming from Rolling Loud, and now you in the house.
Fam.
Pros and cons, but...
Nah, so when we got back, when I made a decision, shout out to Crafty. So he had this, there was this league called the National Beat Battle Association. It's a league that they developed to kind of like, it's like a sport, you know what I'm saying? And they had different cities. They had like Chicago, Miami, Charlotte, us, of course, Houston, Texas. It was like Milwaukee. They had a bunch of cities, man. So I had registered for that to see if I could get in. I got in. I was happy as heck because originally, before the pandemic, you get to travel to these cities and perform your music in front of you know, this audience or whatever. So it was literally like a sport, and like they come to your city too on some like away home team type of thing. You know what I mean? Right. So I thought that was a perfect opportunity to finally like showcase the world my music or whatever, you know, by going to these different cities like Atlanta and stuff like that. Like, you know, that'd be fire. So the pandemic happened, that messed up everything. So then they had to change it to like online pretty much. And then you had to like record your beats or record your video and then send to them, and then they post it on this like thing. So it was a little different. You had to do it from home type of thing. But I still worked on beats. I made another beat tape. And then was able to save up a lot of money because we weren't doing nothing. So I was able to get some new, like some of the stuff you see in here, like
it was finance.
Pandemic,
yeah.
finance. You know what I mean? I was like, this is an opportunity, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the government.
Re-up. Shout out to the G, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I did that, and I ended up moving where I'm at right now currently. Changed the whole thing up, the whole scenery, man. I was just building up pretty much. That's all I could do. And then also, the opportunity was to try to find a job where I could balance everything and still do, you know, because at the time I wasn't making that much money. And that was a difficult thing too. My God, like the jobs I had, man, they had you working 25/8. They was trying to make sure, you know, you never see home, home, man. I didn't like that at all. I had to quit both jobs, man. It was tough. I was going through a lot. I was stressing out about it, man, not making much money. Me, my dad, and my mom, we had like a barbershop, trying to balance that too as well. So it was just a lot of stuff going on, man. I didn't think I was gonna make it through, man. I remember I called my mom one time. I was like, I think I'm done. She was like, what do you mean? I was like, it's just a lot of stuff.
It's a lot,
like, I was like,
sure.
I don't have no job. I was like, I'm literally losing my hair because I was stressing out so much. Like, I was like, man, I'm about to be 30 and bald. I was like, it's a wrap for me. I was like, no girl ever gonna want to be with me. I was like, man, I didn't say that part. Still, I was like,
no,
hey,
real shit though.
It was. Car broke down. I had a Jeep, and I had that Jeep for 12 years. That was my baby. That thing broke down. That was like a metaphor almost. Like,
right.
I was like, come on, son.
Out of all times.
Yeah, man. So I was stressing out, man. I was trying to and I was still trying to do the music, man. At one point, man, I couldn't make a beat. I did not know how to I just wasn't inspired or anything. So it was kind of bad. And this was 2022. And the car I got right now, I remember I went ahead and got that car. I remember my dad sat me down the day I got the car, and he said, hey son, I don't know what to tell you, but new beginnings, just new beginnings, you know. And when he said that, like, my dad's a master of just saying like 2 words and you'd be like,
yeah, right.
You know, my mom, I love her, but she'd be like,
less me.
I get what she's saying, but my dad be like, new beginning, you'd be like,
real shit.
You know, whatever.
It was every word, man.
Nah, I took that mentality, and to this day, and he did that. When he said that, man, I changed my mentality. Everything went right, man. I had the inspiration to make beats again. That one beat that we were talking about earlier, the Q-tip beat, I made that off of that, you know. And shout out to Frequency. I did Vibe Fest in December, and I remember playing beats there. And when I made it to the finals, and people liked the stuff, man. Bink was there too. That's when I first met Bink. And LES. I remember LES loved the stuff, and I was like, yo,
it's crazy. You naming legends right now.
Yeah, and then Bink, he actually left too early. He didn't make it to the championship, so I was kind of mad about that. I was like, hey, bro, you could have voted me to win, you know. But yeah, left early, so I didn't get a chance to like interact.
And you saying that is funny because I remember going back to the Dilla event when we first talked, and you spoke of that, and on your set, he brought it up. So I thought that was crazy because it's like when he did that, I was like, bro, just told me this shit, and the fact that he remembered that and spoke of that speaks to what the fuck.
He stopped the whole set. Yeah, he was like, hey, yo, you play that beat? I was like, yeah,
man, that shit was
that
good.
Was crazy. That was good for him to remember something from like 2 years ago. Still, like that means that beat really stuck with him.
Exactly.
So that was crazy. But yeah, when I did Vibe Fest that year, that's when like everybody I think in the set five was like, okay, who's this kid?
Who's this motherfucker?
And then when they found out, like I remember people asking me like, where you from? And I said I'm from Hampton. They was like, oh, so Hampton folks are like that?
Yeah.
Like, I think it was more like, oh, you gotta be from like Virginia Beach or, you know, Norfolk. I'm not trying to disrespect nobody over there, but I just felt like that's what they thought. I'm from that other side.
Real shit, because that's weird you even saying that, because AI is a whole peninsula nigga that incorporated this hip hop shit. Vic too. So I mean, and again, it does bring that feeling of when you already fuck with somebody because they dope, but the cherry on top is the fact that they from the town. So like. When I realized, when I saw you, I saw the Too High 757. I was like, what? And I'm like, oh shit, this nigga nice. And it's like, he from the town. So it's like, this is what this whole shit is about, man. Like profiling motherfuckers and just realizing that we are fucking nice. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But where you from? 7 cities. Yeah.
Like that being said, man, because like again, we got the whole gist. Like growing up, because I wanted to speak on more so 7-5, like how was it like, because producing, this is a producer state, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got Neptunes, Bink, Knots, you know what I'm saying? Pharrell by himself, I can go on and on. Lex Luger, you know what I'm saying? So just being from that kind of umbrella, like how was that as far as an influence? Like, is that something that you peep from a later standpoint, or was that something you knew growing up and you was like?
I knew that growing up, man. You can't be from there. You're not hit to like Neptune,
right,
Timbo, like
right.
Like I said, like even like my mom's records when she was to the 90s, like you gotta think about it. When Aaliyah came out with 1 in a Million, I was about like 4 or 5 years old when that came out, and then my mom was probably like. She was probably like 23, 24 years old. So she was like, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Right. So that was part of her, you know, and I'm listening to that stuff, man. And then, you know, when Pharrell was coming out with their stuff, you know what I mean? Even when you talk about Jay-Z, you know, just give it to me. Wow. You know, I was like 9 when that came out.
Right.
Meanwhile, my dad is like, he just turned 30 when that came out. So like I had really young, so I'm listening to the stuff already. I'm already influenced by it already. And then he was such a big Jay-Z fan at the time too. Of course, Bink had an influence on me too, because you hear all those Rockefeller records, State Property, Beanie, you know what I'm saying, Memphis Bleak and all them boys. And then with Knots just because I was already a Busta Rhymes fan, you know, Flip Mode and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
And then Lex was like the soundtrack to college for us, because I remember when BNF came out, we was like, yo! I remember when that came out. We was in Georgetown when that came out. You
just brought up like damn every generation type, like late 90s, 2000s, early to like the now. And then it's like crazy because you hear these records first, and you just be like, damn, this shit is fire. And then when you realize who it's from, it's like, I was
the first in college whenever like I remember when
shit is crazy.
Devil in a New Dress came out. I was in school and I remember when that came out, I was telling everybody, that's Norfolk right there. That's just like I was like, you know, repping that thing. I was like, we did that. Like
for real.
I was so hyped. I'm like, it said produced by Big. I'm like, we did that.
Yeah, that album is so crazy. Just to hear that. And then that's like Raw's illest verse ever. In my humble opinion. So just to get that from that is just wild. Exactly. But that being said, bro, because I think they know you at this point, man. But like, producer wise, like who would you say is your top 10? Or excuse me, top 5? Because 10 is a lot. Jeez. That's crazy.
We'll be here all day.
5.
Obviously Dilla. You gotta put Dilla up there in my top 5. Q-Tip was underrated. Some of the stuff he's done. Dang, I hate this. I hate leaving people out, man. Man.
That's 3. Well, excuse me, 2.
I'm gonna say this is favorites, right? You're saying like top. Is favorites?
Yeah, you do favorites.
Okay, that's it's hard for me to do. I gotta say No ID. No ID is fire. He's underrated, bro. Definitely No ID. DJ Paul.
3-6.
The way he puts on records.
That's
Juicy J is underrated too, with that too as well. By the way,
DJ Paul is interesting.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
So that's 4. And again, these are your favorites, so I guess that makes sense.
Everybody my favorite, because I'll throw in Primo and Pete Rock and the RZA, Quick Fast and the Heartbeat.
And that's what I'm, because I ain't getting none of those yet.
Because it's so hard to leave them out, bro.
Because to me, Timbo the GOAT.
Absolutely.
You know, but
and I ain't even mentioned Kanye.
Kanye is up. The Kanye's top 5, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't even mention Kanye. Shoot, man, it's tough, man. We got so many, dope producers. I ain't mentioned Dre.
It's always hard with that last one.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I'm gonna try to throw in somebody who's I'm throwing someone who's like underrated. Who's somebody like ain't nobody really thinking about him too much.
You know what I'm saying? Who's a fire producer?
You know what? I have to do this because you said it earlier. I gotta put EOM up there, man, because how much he means to me, and the fact that the last thing I ever said to him was he had performed in Norfolk, and I was supposed to be there, but I couldn't go because of work. And I had tweeted him and I said, "Yo, man, I just missed your show, man. Hopefully we can link up. I can show you some of my stuff." Because at the time, this is when I was feeling confident about my beats and stuff. Right. And he had tweeted me back. He said, "Yeah, man, next time we definitely gonna check it out." And then like a couple of days later, he passed away. So
wow. Okay.
I gotta put EOM up there, man.
For sure. That's now I gotta do top 5 rappers.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
You did say I remember you said Nas.
Nas is number 1, bro. Nas is Nasir Jones, man. That studying his stuff when I was trying to rap, man, like that dude's amazing. And like I know a lot of people probably like, well, you probably influenced because you're your parents. Nah, bro. Because even when
if he was, it's not a bad thing.
I saw this Tyler interview where he mentioned something like that, and like I somewhat disagree with him on that. Tyler's my dude. I always agree with him on a lot of things.
I know
that
exactly
was
what you're talking about.
That was like one of the few moments I was like, oh, I gotta disagree with you on that. Yeah. Because like, I go back and listen to the older Nas, and I'm just so amazed at the things that he was saying back then that's still relevant to now. So that's why he's like my favorite. Right. And like I said, I grew up where I'm listening to like the Lupe. Lupe at one point was like, I was even like, man, maybe I think Lupe might be my favorite. So I'm like, I'm growing up with these guys too. So there's no bias or anything. It's just that when I go back to Nas, I listen to It Was Written and stuff like that. Like we just celebrate 30th anniversary of Illmatic. Like, come on, bro.
It's crazy.
I sit to Don P, watching Gandhi till I'm charged. Like, come on, dog.
So Nas.
Biggie's number 2.
Biggie's number 2. Fire.
Jay's 3.
That's my greatest right there.
Pac is 4. And I got Rakim at 5. But if I can finish my 10, it would be Scarface at 6, Kendrick at 7, Pusha T at 8, Game at 9, and Lupe at 10.
Game at 9 is... I ain't gonna lie, I think Game is a corny person, but he has no misses as far as albums.
That dude be spitting, though.
So I give you that. And that's definitely a 10 right there. But, damn, and it's... Speaking of the rap game, bro, because, like, I did wanted to get your opinion as far as like the current shit that's going on, man. Like I don't know, ever since this whole Cat Williams shit dropped in the beginning of the year, shit has been wilding. Like you got mad motherfuckers beefing at each other. You even got Chris Brown and Quavo going at it, which is crazy because that's on the Quavo and the R&B motherfucker, but you got R&B niggas dissing. You know what I'm saying? And then from the Drake's Kendrick standpoint, it was supposed to be mainly them two. Mm-hmm. Even putting Cole into it, you know, of course he apologized, which I still feel like that's some bullshit in my humble opinion. But like it was supposed to be them three because of the whole big three thing, and we wanted to see from a competitive standpoint like how that was gonna come out.
Of course.
But you know, your man's apologizing, and we really wanted to see Kendrick and Drake. Now you got damn
my man. We don't apologize. We fight to win out here, bro.
Hey, respect, you know. And again, shout out to Cole because I'm not one of them niggas that's saying like I'm not listening to the nigga no more. It's just the shit that he's recently been talking about. When you saying you that nigga and you got a motherfucker willing to challenge that and you pull back, it's just hard for me to hear that from you now. Like them type of raps ain't gonna hit the same. So it's like I'm still looking for the fall off. Cause the way he been rapping for the past 2 years has been crazy. So like, if that album's gonna sound like that, then I'm
facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm down for it. But all that braggadocious shit, that shit out the window, bro. But like the Kendrick Drake, I still want to see that. Where we currently stand, we waiting on Kendrick to respond because it's definitely the ball is in his court. But
take your time, Kendrick.
Absolutely.
Don't let DJ Academics tell you what to do.
All that time limit shit, and that's what I want to get at because all that time limit shit, bro, is corny. Like we speak the Hov and Nas and all the past shit, and even though it was a different era,
right?
Ether ain't come out in 48 hours at the takeover. You know what I'm saying? And Drake is the reason why this whole time limit shit even exists because it's like it never was the standard. It was just a bonus to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like when he did that shit to Meek. It was like, oh shit, like while my man's tweeting, Drake in the booth releasing some shit, and then he released another one, and it's like, well, you still tweeting. But now they rushing Kendrick, and not even just that, but you got now you have Ross dissing, Ye on the remix now, which is like, what the fuck? You got the Metro Future album, of course. You got The Weeknd dropping disses. You got ASAP dissing. Like, how you feel about motherfuckers? How they saying gather up on Thanos? I don't think that nigga's Thanos, but like from a escape of that, like how you feel about motherfuckers just at this point saying fuck Drake?
Honestly, bro, I don't know what, like, personally, I know people go through things personally, so I don't know what it is, like, they have against Drake personally. My focus right now is just on Kendrick and
Absolutely.
Drake. Everything else, to me, is not a big focus. Like, I don't look at Weeknd like, is he going to respond if Drake say something to him? You know, something like that? I don't care at all. Like, Weeknd, you continue making your Duran type beats, stuff like that. Like, keep doing that. That's what we like you for. Now overall, with the Kendrick and Drake thing, man, like I said, we were waiting for the response. But like you said, man, like there's no talent. That's all I keep seeing is people going like, yo, like I saw DJ Academics tweet today. He was like, it's day 9 with no Kendrick response. And I'm like, bro, there's no
time. And he glazing my mans because it's like
glaze, bro.
Clearly, Drake responded 3 weeks times from the Like That record.
And I'll say this, my man's pointed out, Drake was on tour or whatever, but still. You can record on a bus and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? He said in the rap, this doing to me like an hour or two to do. He said that, so then you could have did it anytime. You know what I mean? Right.
It's a lot of shit.
Yeah. But like I said, Kendrick, take your time, do what you got to do or whatever. And I just feel like with the way society is today with technology and how we digest music and stuff like that, that's why we're like, oh, hurry up. Because it wasn't like that back then. Like when the Joker had a record and they dissed someone or whatever, you waited for that record. Nobody was in there like, yo, what's taking Cube so long?
Right.
No, when No Vaseline dropped, that joint dropped. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And like, there was no talent when Common dropped the Bitch and You, this Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Like these records dropped, you know what I'm saying? And it was a moment, in history or whatever. We Hit 'Em Up came out. And no one said anything about Biggie responding. Biggie had his little sub joints
Yeah,
like on
there's
Ruthless
a-
Finance.
yep,
Faye
yep.
had 20 good,
Yeah,
two
two
pops,
pops, yep.
get it, two pop,
Yep.
whatever. He actually had a record. He did this pop, but anyway, like you said, Ether that took months. But when it dropped, it dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Jay-Z, it took him a minute to respond. Came with Super Ugly, and then Blueprint 2, and then Last Real Nigga Alive. Like, but we waited patiently for these records. There was no like. But I guess the way internet is with MP3s and how you can put stuff, post it, how Drake did with that whole AI thing, which was hilarious. I thought,
bro,
that thing was hilarious.
That's what I was gonna bring up
Drake's
too,
asshole,
because it was some asshole shit, and
it was funny.
It's like, yo, I think niggas already think I hate this motherfucker, but like to me, it was definitely clever from a creative standpoint. I see motherfuckers as comparing
millennial
from what
Drake
Drake did with that to like what Kendrick did on the Heart Part 5, and how he used deep fake technology, and I'm like, bro, like context is important because like he used that from the perspective of them, but like you using artificial voices to diss another nigga.
Right.
To me, I'm sorry, I thought this shit was corny, but I get it because it's like Drake is trolling this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Drake is very strategic.
He's very strategic, so I get it, and I still don't think if I'm Kendrick, I'm not even entertaining that shit because you still got to respond to the first record, which is the actual record that he's getting at you on. The whole Snoop Tupac shit, I'll laugh at that shit. But like this whole shit, like Kendrick is coming. I still think he's dropping. I don't know when he's gonna drop.
And when he does,
you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be some shit because like all this other shit to me, I really think it is some corny shit where like it's making me feel like I get where Cole is coming from. Like with the whole apology shit, because it's like if this shit was going like this, I wouldn't want to be entertained with this shit either, bro. Like imagine Kendrick using AI voices of fucking who the fuck is in Canada that he can use, like you know what I'm saying, or like he gonna use Jay Prince voice or some shit, like
SGA. He'll use Vince Carter's voice.
You feel me? Like, to me, I thought like again, I get the move. It's a soul troll move. But like the shit is just corny, bro. Like you like just diss a nigga on your own merit, like and you already dissed him the first time, so just let the shit, marinate and let him respond to that.
He's smart though, because he did that because he knew the fan base that he has, and then when you got people like DJ Academic and what's the guy's name that used to be on Joe Budden's joint? That be on his
Rory and Maul, yeah.
He's on there too. Talking about some Drake a better rapper than Black Dot. I'm like, yo, get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like popular, yes. I think I don't understand popular or actual skills.
Drake is the biggest,
me off, bro.
Drake is the biggest,
right?
Absolutely,
yeah, absolutely. When we talk about skills, ain't no way touching Black Dot. Like,
not
out
at
of here.
all.
But nah. He's strategic, man, because I know why he did that. Because he knows how much Pac means to Kendrick. So that's why he did that. Because remember, he was on Mortal Man, Pimp a Butterfly, and then on Section 80, how Pac's influence was all over that album. You know what I'm saying? When he even said, like, I had a dream of Tupac, and he told me to, and he put little 3 dots or whatever.
Even to Pimp a Butterfly, that was supposed to be,
dedicated
to Pimp a Caterpillar.
And then the line, when he did the Snoop joint, he had that line where he said, pass the torch. Because you remember that show he did back in 2011, where Snoop, Dre, Game, and Corrupt all was there, and they passed the torch to Kendrick, and he was crying and shit. So that's why I'm like, I see why he did that. That's like a little blow right there, or whatever. But yeah, it was kind of, it was a little lame, a little bit. But like I said,
about I got young girls. It's like, I mean,
that was crazy.
If you talking to young girls, you're talking to you can't you can't 8 Mile that situation. Like when B-Rabbit did that, he was talking about his status. Like, I live in a trailer park.
Yeah.
He's not talking about criminal, like, I'm talking to minors. Like, that's not some shit you can offset. Crazy, you know what I mean? So if I'm Kendrick, I'm still using that. Because it's like,
that's stupid.
Motherfucker, we got evidence. And there's more shit to talk about. Because a lot of niggas are saying he don't got shit to talk about, which I think is hilarious. Because it's like, it's Aubrey. Like, we seen
this man do all types of stuff that's like I could put up there. Man, Pusha T brought a blackface of him. Like, come on, bro. Like,
and motherfuckers treated that like, oh man, he was an actor. this shit was a project. I'm like, my nigga,
You
he ain't talking
exploring
about that
the
shit
struggles.
since.
I don't want to hear that, bro.
Yeah, he's
It's a rap beef, dog.
Since, bro.
It's a rap beef, dog.
Like that, it ain't even just a rap beef. It's the fact that it was nasty.
Anything goes, bro.
It was nasty.
You made that. Come on, son.
It was nasty, and he didn't respond to Push. You know,
wow, where's that response? This goddamn 6 years ago.
they better start leaving these VA niggas alone,
on,
bro. Because like
absolutely.
you saw what the nigga Chris Brown did, bro. That
Hey,
nigga
we
was
different,
wild,
bro.
The nigga was wilding the
We
Quavo,
different.
bro. Like I don't know why he told Quavo they'd rather that nigga be gone and take off.
And we cool as
You know
hell.
what I'm
That's the
saying?
thing with
Fucking
VA. We
Sweetie
cool as
and all
hell
that.
until
It's
someone
crazy.
messes with us, and then we, you know what I'm saying? Then when we come out the woodwork, they're like, "Oh man, you guys are pretty rude." Nah, you disrespected me. What the heck? Like, it's crazy,
Yeah, man. It's just a bunch of like, and from a sport competitive standpoint, I fuck with it. Like I don't know where
Heck
this
yeah.
goes or where this leaves rap now, because like that's one thing that Kendrick always stood on since like the Control verse, as far as like I'm not with none of this alliance friendship bullshit. I'm not on this. I'm on the stage. You're my brother type.
Come at you.
I'm him. Like he been saying that for the past 10 plus years, and I look at it like like a Kobe Jordan type thing, where like the world looks at Drake as the number one guy, and he is for sure the biggest nigga when it comes from a statistic standpoint, like number ones and stats and sales and shit like that.
Yeah.
But like from a quality standpoint, and I really think that Kendrick is looking at it like when Kobe got in the league, all y'all motherfuckers may look at Jordan like he's Black Jesus and all that shit. But when I see Jordan, he's gonna have to see me. You know what I'm saying? And he's been on that type of time,
Yeah.
and now he's been, pretty much calling this nigga out. And on top of that, the fact that he's not as social as the rest of them are, it's kind of intriguing, because I think Drake understands that too, which is not a secret or nothing like that, but it's just like I think he understands that, and he's weaponizing that to his advantage. And I personally think that's something that's like, I don't want to say bothering him, but it's kind of getting to him to where like he knows Kendrick is not going to respond socially like that, so he's trying to antagonize him in so many ways to rush a response. Whereas like as long as you respond, it don't matter how long that shit takes. Now, granted, if you wait until like we in April right now, so if you wait until motherfucking September, then it's like, fam, like you
the whole summer.
You know what I'm saying? you kind of you bugged out, because you did speak on him. You called the nigga a bum, and on the Like That record, which is crazy, and then you waited that long. So it definitely goes both ends. But to sit here and want a response in 48 hours, that's not the case. Again, it's not the standard. It's just a bonus, and that's Drake's fault, because he may be able to write fast, but just because that shit is fast don't mean it's great. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, the Drop It Like It's 50 disc, it was dope. Like it was great. Yeah. He was sending some shit, but to me, because I like to listen, I don't like to just hear it for what it is and think it's cool. I like to listen to what the nigga's saying. Kendrick can say the same shit about you on most of them shits. How you got extorted, you know what I'm saying? Like how you was signed to a deal that was pretty much finessing you, splits, how you have to wait for releases and all that type of shit. Like it's a lot to it that can apply to you. So that's where I'm just waiting. At this point, I just want to wait to Kendrick, because all the other shit is just entertainment. Like Kanye hopping on it is wild, but again, I get it, because Drake has been dissing this nigga for the past 3-4 albums. You know what I'm saying? Even Push said it. It's like, why you dissing? Yeah, I want all the curses. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want to look at Kanye and say, damn, he's clout chasing. And he kind of is, but at the same time, he deserve it, because it's like you've been shooting at, like you dissing a motherfucker that's not known for dissing. Like this nigga made Jesus Walks, like he's trying to be the greatest motherfucker in music, which he kind of got that argument, but it's just wild, man. But that's why I just brought that shit up, because it's like I wanted to see where you think rap and music is heading to with that, like, is that something that you kind of like, you fucking with, you know what I mean, like, or it's just like whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever. They're gonna figure that out or whatever. Cause we got other music coming out, later this year. Like I know, like GID's come out with an album and stuff like that. So it's like it's cool and all, but like I hope we just get records, man. Like that's all I really want to hear.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that.
We finally got Q album.
Q album, which was fire.
That was
Blue
fire.
Chips. That was a dope album. I don't know why a lot of people were saying like they didn't really like it, and I think because a lot of people are hooked on the oxymoron Q, and I think people forget Q has different eras to him, like the oxymoron or the blank face,
habits,
or, habits and contradict, which is sometimes that's my favorite
that
album.
Shit is hard. Like,
so Q doesn't really have any like super bad albums or anything. All his albums are always consistent and good, and I just think this one was just. You know what I'm saying? And then Q's getting older, so that's another reason why I respect the heck out of that album, bro. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. It's like some smooth gentleman gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that shit. It's like
motherfucker healthy now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you gangster, you trying to get out the game. I don't know why he want to still do Man of the Year. Like we got that from him back in 2012, 2013. We don't need to hear it again. We need the Blue Chips. Like I thought the drum was dope, and I feel like if anybody else, I feel like a Rock Marciano or fucking Benny or anybody would have rapped on them same type of instrumentals or whatever, and niggas would be like, "That's a fire album." But because of Q and what he brings to the table, then I think that's why the people who don't like it didn't like it. But the people who understand, like. We get it. We get it. That was a fire album. To me right now, at the moment, I think that's a rap album of the year at the moment. Until we get some new projects coming in.
I ain't gonna lie. I felt that way because it came out in March, so it was definitely early. And then the Metro Future album dropped.
That's up there too.
They dropped twice. The first one
though,
to me, kind of got it. Just because of the tone.
I ain't get mad at you. That's
and I love the fact that Metro used Prodigy like that. Like he's dissing this nigga throughout the whole shit. And it felt like Prodigy was on the album. Rest in peace to P. But
rest in peace, man.
And that album got it. And even like speaking of Cole, man, because again, besides the apology and shit, which was crazy, that shit was like a setback.
Yo!
Like the Mike Delete album was fire. Like again, the album was dope. Like the Ready sample with Cam up there was crazy. The Pie record was crazy with Daylight and Soul.
Yep.
Them niggas snapped on that. And Cole is rapping to that same capacity that we've been hearing for the past 2-3 years, which he called his prime. So it's like outside of the beef, it's that anticipation that you putting on this album that you are speaking on for a good minute. So when this album comes out now,
it'll be the best thing.
You get what I'm saying? Because it's
pen game. He's been putting in work.
He's been snapping. So that and not to get long-winded with the whole apology shit, because it is what it is.
We ain't gonna focus on that.
Just the fall off part. I'm waiting to hear that, because if that shit is some, I don't think the album's gonna be trash. But if it's just more so underwhelming, then I feel like that's a flop. Because it should be some shit. Because even when you was dissing Kendrick, you said I can make classics, and you spoke on this man's catalog. So that shit better be some shit.
We spoke on his catalog, and I know a lot of people know me. I'm kind of critical on J. Cole a lot, but
man,
for someone's discography, man, like some of the records put out, like. You compare it to Kendrick, it's just like...
It's not fucking me.
Out
of them three, it's Kendrick, bro. And it's all subjective, don't get me wrong, but like Kendrick always had the best catalog to me between the three.
I agree.
And Drake has always been the biggest. So that's why when it comes to stats and, numbers and shit like that, that will always be Drake. But from a quality standpoint...
That's the thing about Kendrick.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like...
He can do both.
He absolutely can. He absolutely can, because he's not that far. He's not that far behind from Drake. Not that far behind. He's definitely not. He's
sold out
not
tour 2 years ago.
Exactly.
He can do that.
And so he's not like some mid-tier type motherfucker. But from a statistical standpoint,
Drake knows that.
Of course, and that's why we gonna see, man. Because we don't want to get long-winded.
You know why I think Drake is so mad at Kendrick sometimes? I think because of how he's accepted in hip hop.
I was just about to say that.
I think Drake doesn't feel he's accepted in hip hop. Which Now to me personally, I think he is a part of hip hop, because you gotta look at hip hop from a bigger picture.
Absolutely.
So he is a part of that culture, regardless
Absolutely.
of how you may feel about
Absolutely.
him. Oh, he do this, he do that.
Absolutely.
He's still a part of that culture. When we do a textbook on hip hop, Drake's gonna be in there.
He's solidified for sure.
But it's because that there's an audience of people, and I know these guys that
Right.
don't feel like Drake is hip hop at all. They describe him for everything like that, and Drake sees that, and he hears that, and it irritates him. Instead of just doing your own thing, don't worry about it.
Yep.
Because no matter who you are, J. Cole, Kendrick, or shit, myself,
Right.
we're gonna do stuff, and someone's always not gonna like it, and that's okay.
Yep.
But if you focus too much on that, man, it's gonna affect your work, and I think that gets to Drake a lot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
And I think more so with that, it's like he gets the acknowledgement as far as being the biggest,
mhm.
but when it comes from a skill standpoint, like I
You
think
don't
the
get that a
MCs
lot.
don't acknowledge that
Nah.
the way they look at Kendrick and Cole. I think the MCs like the Black Thoughts, the Holes, the Nas's,
But Drake can
Eminem's.
rap though.
No, he can definitely
That's
rap,
the
but
crazy
when
part.
you come out with the ghostwriting standpoint, how
Yeah.
Meek exposed that puts an asterisk on it. You came out the gate saying I'm the greatest, and you know what I'm saying, when this whole ghostwriting comes out, it's like you kind of in the umbrella with the puffs.
That's a tricky thing too.
and the
'Cause
Dre.
he does a songwriting thing, so
Right,
that's a little tricky.
but with the songwriting, he's more so penning melodic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Alicia Keys and all
you
that
like
stuff.
the
Beyonce, yeah.
Kanye, even the Kanye was melodic records, and he probably did 30 hours, but that's still cool. And again, he can rap.
Yeah.
It's not like every single thing we hear of Drake has been fully penned by somebody else, and
Right.
you just rap that. It's just an asterisk to it because in rap, unfortunately, in hip hop, this is
That's
a
a big
genre
thing
where you
with
have
us.
to pen your story.
Exactly.
So to hear that, and when Meek exposed that, even then it was like that's when the shift happened, because it's like, yo, the culture was like, man, the shit dope, we fucking with it. And when we heard that, it was like, wow, because back then he would have probably they would have got him out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's accepted, and he's still Drake. He will always be Drake.
Yeah.
But from a MC standpoint, like skill, we recognize his rapping, but he's not one of the he's not how they look at Kendrick and Cole from an organic standpoint. And I think that gets to him.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why he's having this approach, because he didn't do this with nobody else for real up until this point. Like with Meek, I respected what Drake did because he kept it straight rap. Like while Meek is twittering the Twitter fingers and shit, he went on the booth, dropped one record, and then dropped the back to back, and it was a rap. Even with Push, when Push came out with his Daytona, had the infrared record up there, came at Drake responded immediately, and with the Duppy, and he kept it rap. Up until my man's Push responded and it was over. But even how he went about it, I respect it because he kept it rap. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do anything. And then even when Duppy came out, I remember when Push tweeted at him, and he responded back to Push with the whole invoice shit. So even them, they was keeping it, they was keeping it back and forth with the social point, but they was still active on rap. I think with this situation, like I said again, I think he knows that Kendrick is not that, he's not that social, he's not that involved socially. So he's going to antagonize this man to do everything to get him to respond. And I think, I don't want to make it sound like he's scared or nothing, because he's Drake, but I think that part of Kendrick just sitting there and just letting it marinate is fucking him up. Like, not like making him mad or nothing, but it's just like, it's really fucking him up. Yeah, because it's like, you know what I'm saying? So all that being said, I'm just waiting on Doc to respond.
Can't wait, bro.
This is something like 11, 12 years in the making for me.
Part 6.
They call him the sixth guy. They call him the sixth guy.
Hey.
You feel me? And again, like, this is something that I've been waiting on for like years, bro. From a competitive standpoint, because none of these niggas ain't gonna clap at each other. This shit ain't getting violent. You know what I'm saying? This shit is rap. So all the niggas that's making that narrative about, this shit about to get, on some West Coast, East Coast shit, Tupac beat. No, this shit is rap, bro. Like, these niggas ain't about to do that shit.
They got a brand to protect. You know
what I'm saying? This shit is about bars, and it should be nothing about that. All that other shit is bullshit, and this just should be two big ass niggas, and there's one nigga on the throne, bro. But
all it is.
we're gonna keep that shit, man. But at this point, bro, it's been damn near like an hour. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely at the point where we are gonna conclude it. You know what I'm saying? Again, I definitely want to appreciate you, bro, for letting me, you know what I'm saying, pull up to the function and all that, to the, what we call it again? The
Commies Lookout.
Commies Lookout, man. That's fire, man. You know, and rest in peace to the God of DBZ as well.
Absolutely.
But before we do check out, man, just want to ask, what can they expect from Too High, you know what I'm saying, going forward? Like, are there any upcoming events? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we did the Dilla one recently, but...
So so we're gonna be back in Richmond June 1st. Charged Up Fest, which is gonna be in Richmond. The Noah O, shout out to him. When we was at the Dilla tour, linked up with him. He told me to go ahead and sign up for that event, man. He was definitely peeping the sounds and stuff, and so did that. Got accepted. Only accepted 10 producers, so I was happy to be amongst the 10 producers.
Wow.
So we'll be performing in front of Bink again, and my man Bink. Shout out to Bink, man. Shout out to Bink. Shout out to Norfolk, man. The fact that he connected with me, man, that was amazing, man. Bink and Large Professor, man. Another guy underrated. That's someone I should have mentioned. Large Professor, man. To my man, it ain't hard to tell. Come on, that's my record right there, bro. But yeah, he'll be there, and we'll be able to perform our beats and stuff, and then they'll actually I didn't know until I read the email, apparently they're gonna judge the beat or whatever. So it's not like a beat battle, but it's like a showcase, but they give you critiques and stuff, and then apparently you get like a producer's cup. So I'm like, oh snap. I didn't know all that. I thought we was just playing beats for the people, I didn't know it was a darn competition.
About to get trophies and shit like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I don't really care if I win or not. I just happy to be there and stuff like that. So that's in Richmond. So get you guys tickets June 1st, 8 p.m. Richmond at the RVA Boombox. That's where we were last time for the Dilla show. So back in there. Other than that, man, unless I got any other shows coming up, obviously I'll let y'all know. But projects, a lot of projects about to come out. I'm excited about this. Everything's primarily local, so a lot of people from here. Newport News, Hampton, we're working on some stuff, man. So I'm excited to have people hear some of my records and the different type of artists. So it's not like the same type of artists. Everybody's different in their own way. Because I'm trying to prove my point. I can still do me, and I can work with almost anybody. You know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff. Work with some people over in Virginia Beach and Norfolk too as well. Mm-hmm. Some people out in Richmond. I got people in DC. Rock bands. I got rock bands that want to work. So we all over the place, bro.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
All genres, man.
Yeah, and then at the end of it, hopefully I can work on my project. I'm trying to do another album. I want to do a gospel album. So
Kanye.
I want to do a gospel album because of the whole when my dad was a born again Christian, we was big on the church in the early 2000s. So I was like, I gotta showcase that influence. So it'd be a dope little tribute to that time. So
that's what's up. Yeah. And last but not least, man, where can they follow you, like socials and
Instagram
like that?
Too High. That's the number 2 HEI 757. So number 2 HEI 757. Follow me. I post most of my beats and stuff up there, all my events. So just follow me up there. Working on a website now for all those who've been inquiring about that. Working on a website so you guys can, look at beats, purchase, lease, get exclusives, custom made type beats, whatever you want. So working on that right now, and merch as well. So that's pretty much it.
For sure, man. But like I said, bro, it was definitely entertaining. You know what I mean? I want to thank y'all for listening, man. And at this point, man, y'all just check it out, man. But y'all be easy. We out.
Subscribe.
Yes, sir. God bless.